Hey guys, welcome to the part 6 of this course. While editing the previous video, I found some modifications. So let me come to the first one. In the backend's index.js, we missed a slash here. And we are making two separate calls for our dashboard. So we will comment it out and implement the same task inside a single function. We are grabbing handle in both the functions, and the second function is returning the user's social media, and the first function is returning the essential fields. So we will merge it via this. We will require the social and pass the social with the first function and give a comma here. So now we will see the front end where these function calls are being made. This is at handle.js. So this is the extra call that is grabbing the social handles. So I will comment it out, and this was setting the socials. So I will copy this and I will paste this here, as this call is now returning the socials also. This should now work. We have two more modifications. In the user header, we will put the Linktree link in our user box. So we have our user box right here. So I will wrap this inside a link. Now let's first start the server to see the changes. cd site npm run dev cd server npm start. Let's refresh this. Let us open the dashboard, and we don't have the dashboard direct link in our header, so we have to edit that too. We have the nav bar, and we will change this to dashboard and change its text to dashboard. Now I have logged in with the account. Now this should redirect us to the user's link tree. So we have link tag here. So now we have to change the link to the user's link tree. For that we have to use braces. Then inside that we will use template literals, then the domain name. Then we will use template literal and the user handle. And let's see the change. When we hover over this, at the bottom you can see the link tree is here, and this is now visible. So another modification we can do here is that we don't have any default icon here for the default link. So I have a URL. So I have this icon URL. I will copy this. So I will come to our register function where the register function is, and in the icon field we have blank. So we will replace it now. Still it won't be visible because where we have implemented the link tree, we have passed link image. But if we see our model, it is having icon field, not image. So this was a mistyping that we did. So I will change it to icon, and now I have to create a new user to see the changes. I will come to my website, go to dashboard, then log out and create a new user, user 12. Give it an email ID and set that password and login. You can see when I click on this, the icon will be appearing. I can change its full border radius to somewhere like, I will come to Linktree and I will change the rounded full to rounded medium. Let's see how it is. Yeah, it is looking good. So we had these kind of modifications, and there are several more modifications, but I will discuss them later. The data we are acquiring in the dashboard, which is role, handle and avatar, we will be requiring that at many places. So we will make that data globally available using Context API. For that, inside our client directory, create a directory named context, and inside that create a file named user context.js. Now import the create context from React. Now create a simple null context, and the name will be user context create context, and we have to now export this. user context. And now come to _app.js. We will import the context. So import user context from /context/user context. Now create a blank state object which name will be const user data and set user data. Use state, and initially the object will have blank values like name, role, avatar, handle. And now we will wrap our main component inside user context.provider, user context.provider, and the value we will be passing is user data and the set user data function. We will have to wrap this inside another braces. And now we can use this user data and set user data globally. So where we need access to the data like name, role, avatar and handle, we can use this user data, and at places where we need to update the data, we can just require this function and use it to update the data. So we will now come to our dashboard and import the user context. Import user context from context user context. We will change this @ to manual ... And in the dashboard we will be importing the set user data. Const set user data is equal to use context. So this is the hook, we have to import it from React, and this will be using this user context, and we will be updating the user data on successful fetching. Set user data to data.user data. And now after this process, the user data variable will be having all those 4 fields. We can just do better. Instead of just repeating it every time, we will copy this and we will come to our user header and paste it here. Proper indentation, and we will import the user context from ... /context/user context. Here, instead of just the function, we will be also importing the data, user data, and in order to use this use context, we have to import it. So import it from React, and we can also get rid of this dependency from our dashboard. We will comment it and we will copy this simply, and down to this we will paste here. We don't need the name field, we don't need the links field for this user header, and instead of data we will be using user data. So from user data, the role, avatar and the handle will be destructured, and we can simply remove this from here. And in the dashboard we don't need to pass the prop anymore. Now let us refresh the dashboard and open the link tree. It is working fine. Now we can move forward to editing profile page. For that, in the pages directory, I will create a folder named edit, and inside that I will create profile.js, create a React arrow functional component, and when now I open our home page /edit/profile, now it takes us to the profile page. Now we shall be working on this, but before that we will just in advance create the links page too, links.js, and create another functional component, and let's check it out. Edit/links. This is the links page, and now we have to create backlinks to those pages from our dashboard. So we will come to dashboard and we have it inside user header. I will expand this, and now we will have to wrap them inside a link to edit/links. Paste it here, cut it here and wrap it inside a link to /edit/profile, and let's check it. When we click on edit links, it goes to the links page. When we click on edit profile, it goes to the profile page. So now let's start designing the profile page. Let's close other things. As our profile will be needing the user handle, so we will import the user context that we had, and that will provide us the user handle and other things. So we will import user context from let's see, we have two directories under, so we will do /// and then from context, then user context, use context, and we will be needing the use effect later as well as the use state, so I will just import them in advance. Now import the user data and set user data and use context. We will be using this context. Indent this properly. And in order to update the socials, we have to locally create a socials object which will have all the data. We can find the same from our handle.js. So I will copy this and paste it here. And for our form, we will create state data, name, set name, use state. Initially they are blank, const bio, set bio. Initially it will be blank too. Const avatar, set avatar, and initially let's give it an initial URL that we used in our model. So I will give this icon as initial image, and now we will check if the user data is available, and if the user data is available, then we will fill up the name, bio as well as avatar. Use effect. If user data is available, then set name, user data dot name. Let me again check what was that. In _app.js it was name, and our handle can't be changed, so we will change the name. So it will be name, set avatar, user data dot avatar. We are not currently importing the bio, so let me create a field for bio too and go to the Backend function where it is working. We will export the bio, user dot bio, and this will be inside the user data. And let me go to user header where it is. So you can see the set user data function is being updated by the user data. So now we can set the bio, user data dot bio, and in the dependency array we will pass user data. So if initially user data is not available, don't worry, but when the user data is updated, then run the use effect again, and these fields will be updated. Now coming to the designing part, I will collapse this and remove whatever we have default. Use React fragments. Then inside that I will create a div, and we will import, and here we will use the user header, which was this user header, and we will have to import it to import user header from // component / user header. Is the spelling okay? Okay, the spelling is okay. Now create a main tag. I will create a section tag inside this, and let's create a div, and let's not go much deeper, so I will just indent it negatively. Let's open up the reference image. This is the reference image. We already have this user header implemented, so now we need to create this section where we have edit profile section with 3 forms. One is for updating name, one is for updating bio, and another one is for updating the avatar. And we can save it from here, and later we have fields to update Facebook ID, Twitter ID, Instagram ID, and other social fields. So now let's hop into coding. So I will open up our main page and then go to profile, then split screen, collapse this area, and I will do negative indentation so that we get much more spacing. In the first div, we will be creating section to edit the profile. I will give a heading h4, edit profile, then create a div and create a form inside it. We don't need the action, so I will remove it. In order to create this kind of field for our form, we have already implemented that in our probably register pages. So I will open this up and see how it is. I will copy that from there. This is the span. I will copy it to save more time. Let's indent this properly. Open it up. Handle is not defined. I don't need it right now. I will remove this as well as this on change. Let's see how it is. Currently it's an uncontrollable form. That does not matter as long as we are now focusing on the design. And after the design is completed, we will focus on the logic. So I will have to repeat this thrice. Let me find some icons for user, bio and avatar. So I will go to SVG repo and find for user. This one looks good. So I will copy this. Go to our SVG under public. Create user.svg. Okay, we already have user.svg. So I will create bio.svg and search for text. Let's see what we get. This one can be good. In the bio.svg, I will paste this. And let's come to profile editing page. And let's try out our user.svg, what we had. I don't know what it is. And this is looking kind of dark, but we can manage with it. And let's try out our bio.svg. Bio.svg. This is looking good. And for our avatar image, we will replace it with user.svg. And now change the placeholders for each of them. For bio, enter a bio. And for name, we will do set a name. Now give some padding to each of them. So I will select them together. I need to give some margin bottom. Let's say 5. Too much. Let's give 3. Great. And let's give them width of 11 by 12. And let's do margin auto to center them. Then let's see, we have a button here. At the end, I will add a button, input, type button, and value will be save profile. I will have to add classes. Give it a background green, 500. Padding on X will be 4. Padding on Y will be 2. And border radius will be medium. Border will be 2. Border green 800. A deep color. And then just medium shadow MD. And the cursor type will be pointer. And the text will be white. So I have to center it as well as all the items. So I will add display flex to this. Flex. And flex default will be column. And do justify center. Now let's give it a width W32. Let's see. Now after doing flex column, our main axis has changed. So I will do items center, which will do align items center, and it will come to center. And similarly, we have to create our Facebook ID, Twitter ID, and other edit social page. And we have to center this profile tag. I will add class name, do font bold as this is the heading, and text center, and add some margin bottom of 5. Great. Now let's take a look at this. So I will just copy this div and paste it again. Let's see. In the second div, we will give a margin top of 5. Let's try it. we have to give some more. So let's try margin top 10. Let's differentiate it. We had some more. So let's try giving it 14. Okay, great. Now we have to focus on others. We need 3 more fields. So copy this again and paste. Now let's change the social medias. First one will be facebook.svg. Second will be ig.svg, or we had probably instagram.svg. And then twt.svg for Twitter. And then for LinkedIn we had a weird name, lnkdin or lnkdn. Probably this was it. I don't know why I renamed this like this. And for GitHub we had GitHub. And for YouTube we have YT. Yeah. And now let's edit their placeholders too. Enter Facebook ID and copy this. Paste the same for others and we will edit after this. For Instagram we will add Instagram ID. For Twitter we will add edit Twitter ID. For LinkedIn we will add enter LinkedIn ID. And for GitHub we will add edit GitHub ID. And for YouTube enter YouTube ID. And after that we will add a @ so user can understand that by means of the new update to YouTube we have a @ before user's channel ID. So let's see how it is. So the designing is well. Now we have to implement the logic for this. Let's make it full screen as we don't need the front end right now. So coming to our edit profile section, we already have the state variables name, bio and avatar. So what we can do in the input field, we can set the default value as a name. Initially it is empty, and we can set on change. We will execute this function where we will be having an event, and in the inline function we will run the set name function, and the name will be set to event.target from where it was called, and its value will be updated to the name. Similarly, we will update this with bio and avatar. So value, bio, and let me copy this whole thing so we don't have to type it repeatedly. Let me change it with bio, set name to set bio, and again avatar and make it capital. And currently this avatar field is taking the link of any image, and we can display the image. So we will do image and make the source dynamic, and the source URL will be whatever we type in this image field. We will remove the alt tag we don't need. And let me check it now. I will do full screen. I have an image online in my website, so I will copy this and I will paste this link here, and you can see the image is visible, but we have to style this one. But before that, as you can see, the text is only limited to this area. We will have to add width full to all the input fields. Here I will select all of them together. Yes, and I will do W full. Let me check if it works or not. Paste the link. Yes, it works. Now we have to style this. Let me go to the image, add a class name, limited to 10, width 10, paste the link, and this is looking great. Now give it a border radius, probably border radius of full, so rounded full. Let me check. Paste this again, and we can just do one thing. We can add a border as well as shadow, so it looks great. For that I will add border 2 and border white and shadow medium. Let's check it. I will paste the link, and this looks kind of premium. Now similar to name, bio and avatar, we have to update the socials so that we can make backend calls. So I'll come to our front end, and we already have this socials object. We have to fill it up right now. To update the socials, I will create a function named handle socials, and it will have an event. I will set social, which is this function, and I will use spread operator, and whatever the social had previously will be set to the social, and it will add something. What will be added? the event.target.value, and the value shall be assigned to only these 6 items. So for that we will have to add some ID. For each input field we will have to add ID like Facebook, and now we can do event.target.id. Now this event.target's ID, which is Facebook will have the target's value. Now we have to add ID to each of them. The ID should be from this. We can't change the ID other than these. So for Twitter we will write Twitter. Oh, this was probably Instagram. For Twitter I will write Twitter. For LinkedIn I will have to write for LinkedIn. For GitHub I will have to write GitHub. And for YouTube I will write YouTube. And now we have to implement this function here on each field. So I will add a value which will be this Facebook for our Facebook input field, but in order to use this we will have to use it through this social. So I will do social.facebook. Currently it will be initially blank, and on change I will call that function handle social, which will be having the event. Via that event.target it will be updating the values. So I will do that for others as well. Select everything together, paste it, just change it. Instagram. For Twitter I will change it to Twitter. For LinkedIn change it to LinkedIn. GitHub to GitHub. YouTube to YouTube. And now if I type, now we can type here. Now we have to implement the backend. For that I will create a function const save socials. It will have an event. We will do event prevent default so that the page does not reload, and we will do a fetch call. And before implementing the fetch call, now we have to work on the backend. I will go to index.js. Let's add a post function on path save/socials. And the function name will be save socials. We have to create this function. Inside controllers I will create a file named saveitems.js. I will do const our function name. This will be async function. It will have access to request and response. And now first export this module.exports save socials, and let me import that to const save socials from require./controller/save items. And now let's see what we can fetch to backend. At the path we will be calling localhost 8080/save/socials, and the method will be post headers content type will be application/JSON. We will send the data via body, so do JSON.stringify, and we will send the token. For that obviously user have to be logged in. We'll grab the token from local storage .get item, and the token name was Linktree token. And we will be sending our social array, which is this one. We will name it to socials. And before implementing further, we will come to our backend, where I will close this app.js, come to this save socials function, and now let's accept them via request.body. We'll receive token mail, comma, socials from request.body. Let me console log that for once. Request.body. Now let's add a try catch block. Now we have to decode the token. For that I will have to import JWT decode, const JWT underscore decode from require JWT dash decode. We will save the decoded mail to a variable called decoded token mail. We will use the JWT decode function, which will take our token mail and this secret code, which is test key. We can access it via process.env dot our code name, and then we will extract the email from decoded token mail dot email. And now once console log whatever email we have decoded, now we have to find user. For that we will have to import the model const user is equal to require dot slash models slash user. And now const user will be user dot find one, and we will find users with email. And we will set the user's social media, which is, let me again check the social media. We will update the social media field of this user dot social media will be the socials we are receiving is equal to socials, and then we will do user dot save to save the changes. And now we will return response.json message saved and status success. If any error occurs, then return response.json status error, and error should be the error message. Let's see what is the error. Okay, we have probably mistyped this code. I don't know where it came from. And index.js, we are having some problem. What is it? We have a comma here. I don't know where this is coming from. Let's go back to our profile, and when the fetch is successful, then pass the response rest.json, and then the data we received, we will work on it. If data dot status is error, then we will return the function immediately with toast.error, and the error message shall be data.error. Whatever error we received, we will just show it, and else we will toast success socials saved successfully. And we will now have to call this socials function, and we will be calling on submit when the second form is submitted. Then we will call this save socials function. And one more thing we have to edit is, instead of type button, we have to change it to submit, type submit. I just mistyped it, type submit. And let's come here, and let me edit my Facebook ID and other IDs, and let's click on save. We have to fill out these fields too. And let's click on save. Toast is not defined. Okay, I forgot to import the toast. Import toast from React Toastify. And now all the fields will be reset. Yeah, I know. I will just paste everything here and clear the networks tab. User.save is not a function. So let me check the backend. We are doing it properly. And when we find a user, let me console log the user, console.log user. And let's expand the terminal. Let's give some spacing, clear the network tab, and send again request. Let's see what we have here. Expand the terminal. We are receiving token mail properly. We are receiving the socials object as well. And let me see what is the error. I probably have missed the await. So let me expand this again, give some spacing, and let's call this again. Save profile, socials saved successfully. Now let's see, it has console logged the user. And let me open my MongoDB to see if the socials are actually updated or not. MongoDB Compass, we have Linktree9 database, this collection, and now we have social media object. If you see, the other users are not having the social media field, but the last user is having a social media field, which is an object, and all the social media is having their value. So now minimize it. Let's cut this. And when we refresh the page, you will see all the items are gone. And now we want to make sure that if we previously saved something, this have to show up. So we have to load the previously saved data. So for that, I will just collapse this and come to my front end, and we have to save the load data. I will do that on use effect. First, we will validate a user if there is no token. So I will validate user, local storage, get item, and that is Linktree token. If a user doesn't have it, then we will send him to another page. For that we will use router, but I probably haven't imported router, so let me import it. Import use router from next router. Create the router. For that I will do const router is equal to use router. Then come to our use effect, do router dot push to login page. If a user is not logged in, then it will open the login page. After that we will fetch, and now we have to work on our backend. For that I will come to index.js. I will create a post function called load/socials, and the function name will be load socials. And I will have to create it under controllers. I will name this load previous, which shows that we are trying to load the previous data. Load socials, this will be an async function and have access to request and response. And from our save items, I will just copy them because we'll be needing them. Let's come to our profile. Let's give a call to localhost 8080/load/socials, and it will be a post call. So method will be post, headers, content, type, application/JSON, and the body we will be JSON stringify, and we will send the token mail, and the token mail value will be this. And go to backend, load previous. We will receive the token mail from request.body. Let's add a try catch block. First we have to decode it like previously. Then we have to find a user. We will just copy it from our previous function and we will paste it. Now we will load the social media we have, user.social_media, and we will send all the social media as our response. So we'll do return res.json message found the socials we just created, and the status will be success. And if error occurs, then return res.json status error, and the error will be error.message. Let me come to profile. We added this colon and we don't need it actually here. And when the fetch is successful, then we will pass the response this.json. Then the data we receive, we will check if data.status is error, then we will return toast error, and the error will be data.error, the error we actually received. And if that doesn't happen, then we will set the social to data.socials. Make sure it was socials in our load previous that we passed, yes. Now let's come to our front end and load this. This does not work. Probably we have missed something here. Failed to fetch. I will expand the terminal. Oh, okay, probably our backend has crashed. Load socials is not defined. Let me open the index.js. We have not imported it. So I will just quickly import this. Require controllers / load previous. Now the server shall restart, or we will have to manually restart it. Again crashed, and this is another error it is showing. It is because probably I haven't imported this. Let me check. Yep, I haven't exported this. So I have to export the function module exports load socials. And now the MongoDB shall be connected. Now let me open this and refresh this now. The fields are now updated. Let me update my LinkedIn and click on save. Socials saved successfully. Let me refresh and see the updated field is here. And let me update my YouTube also. Let's save. Social saved. I will cut that and refresh. It is retaining that. That is just nice. And I will have to add some margin under this save profile option. And this is not actually profile, this is social, so I will have to edit them. I will go to profiles. This one title should be edit socials, and the button should be edit buttons or save socials. And I will add a margin bottom of 10. Let's see how it is. Okay, if I change something and save, it will be saved to database, and while loading the page the data will be loaded. And now load up our name, bio and image. For that I will just collapse this one again. I believe we are having this name, so let me just open my DevTools. It is inside components. Then here we have profile. Expand this a bit. Let's check the context provider. The avatar, bio, handle, all of them are empty. Let me check why. So initially our avatar was supposed to be this URL, and when we load this is blank. So I believe we have made a call, but we were unsuccessful to load up the states. So let me see why it is happening. Let me just inspect all the calls that we made. This is dashboard. Let me see the preview. We received the role, the avatar, the handle, as well as the link count. If you see, we are just receiving avatar, handle, links and role. We don't have the name field as well as not the bio field. So we have to first implement those, and after when we save, then we will inspect further. So for that, I will be creating a function called const save profile. This will be similar to our save social, so I will copy it and we will do some modification. So the path will be save / profile, and the function will be implemented inside save items. It will be again similar to our save socials, so I will copy paste this. The name will be save profile and rename the function. And in index.js I will import this save profile function, create a path, app.post save profile. On this path the function name will be save profile. Okay, so now update the function. Here we will receive not the socials but the name, bio and avatar, and rest of the decode process and finding user using the email will be similar. And after that we won't be updating the social media field of the user. We will update user.name to the name, user.bio to the bio we just passed from frontend, and user.avatar to avatar. Then we were doing user save, and if that is successful we will return message saved and status success. Let's come to frontend. Check the path once, save profile, And here we won't be passing our socials object. Instead, we will pass our name, bio, and avatar. And here on success, we will toast success profile saved successfully. I will use this function on submit of the form. On submit, let's call this function. Let's try it once. I will refresh this, set my name here. And image link this, click on save profile, and it is showing that saved. Let me check the database, refresh, and you can see my name field is updated to my name, the bio, the avatar is updated. Now when we refresh, let me take a look at the dashboard call. I will extend this. The avatar is being received, the bio is received, and the name, and all the fields are received. Now let me just only have to debug that why the context is not updating the states. So finally I have solved the issue. I came to my user header where the context was actually saving. So I console logged it, and when I opened my terminal, so let me reload it once, you will see set data is not defined, and it is not also console logging this. I will just comment out set data as we have not used set data, instead we used a context. So now when I come, it will be console logging this, and the names are updated as well. So I will refresh and it will be retained. Let me just update this. I'm a developer, and let me save the profile, refresh, and this is updated. And voila, this is working just great. And you can see the top user box is also working, but we have a simple glitch here. I want the profile image to be rounded. This is not an issue at all, but I will just do it. So I will come to user header. Let me go to the image where it is. Give a rounded full, rounded full. Okay, the spelling is rounded full. Let me check. Now it is rounded. It is looking great. When I refresh this is working fine. Alright, now we will open our link tree. Let's see our social media is working or not. This is opening my Facebook. Check my GitHub. This has opened my GitHub, and all the social media is working. But I see one thing here. The name field is showing our user handle. Initially when we tried to develop the application, then we didn't have access to the edit profile section. That's why we showed the user handle. But now we can edit our username. So now we will show the user name here. So now we will go to the user header. Now we will go to the handle, and then inside this link tree where it is rendering this, we are getting the name from handle. And let's see where is the data coming from. The data is coming from get, and it is inside probably get user data, and here we are passing name as user.handle. Let's pass user.name, and now let's see, give it a refresh, and now the actual name is being rendered. Now if I change my name like only my name, save this, and when we come to this, it will show my only name. Now here we have only one link. We will implement the edit links page. Currently we have this only. Now we will come to this. Where is the page? edit/links.js. I will remove the current content, React fragment, and I will create a div. I will use our user header. It will automatically import this. I will change this to manual directory, and then let's see how it is. Components, user header. Oh, we have to go another level. .. Let's see, the user header is being imported. Let me do split screen. Let's collapse this part. Inside this we will create main tag, and inside that is section tag. I will add a heading, add or customize your links. I have to center this. For that I will do class name text center, font bold, text size will be 2XL. Let's see how it is. 2XL is pretty big, so I will make it XL. And let's give it a color, text gray 600. Great, now we have to create a div for our form. And now we'll create a form. I don't need the action, just as always. Inside the form, I will iterate through our links. For that, I will create a state, const links, set links, use state, and we have to import use state, and we will import use effect and use context as well, because we will be needing them in future. Initially, the links array will have an object with two fields, URL, which is blank, and title, which is again blank. Let me create title state to title, set title, use state, and this title will be blank. I will write use effect, and inside that I will call the links that we already have from our backend. So we can use the previous snippets that we wrote from our profile. I will just copy this use effect that we had here and come to our links.js, paste it here, tweak something, and the path will not be load/socials, instead it will be load/links. And in body content we will send token mail. Let's implement it in the backend. I will do full screen, then expand this, load previous. This is the load socials function, and the load links function will be almost similar. So I will name this load links, and I will export this, and let me import that. Where is it? It is here. I will import this, and let's create a path. It will be on path/load/links, and the function name is load links. Yes. So let's come to where it is, load previous. It will find a user by email, and instead of saving the socials, I will save the links array, user.links, and I will pass links as response. Let's come to our links.js. Instead of saving to socials, I will set it to links, set links data.links. Now let me iterate over the links, links.map. It will take each link and index, and I will create a div for each link. Each link will be having a key index. It is not suggested to use index as key, but we will do it for now. Each div will be having two fields. One is for URL and another is for title. Let me create a label. I don't need to use it for labeling actually. I just need it for semantic purposes. I will copy it again. First one will be for URL. I will name this URL. And here we need an input field. And the second one will be named title. Again an input field. The value will be link.title, that we have the link, each individual link. And again for the URL field, the value will be link.url. Let me check this in our model. It was URL and title. We probably forgot to put a parenthesis after the map. And on change, I will add an inline function, event, then create a function actually, handle link change. We will have to implement the function, const handle link change. It will be receiving parameters. Let me define it here. I will pass 3 arguments. First one will be index, second one will be field, which is URL for our case, and third one will be value, which is event.target.value. And now let me receive them as a parameter, index, field and value. and on receiving that I will create a copy of the links array named updated links. Use spread operators. Create a copy of the link to update and update the specified field. Name it link to update. And again use spread operator. Updated links that we just created, and for specific index let me update the field value. Let me explain this a bit. Let's suppose we have an array, and for a specific index of this array, if the field is URL, whatever value we have been passed in that specific field, let's suppose the field is URL and the value is google.com, we will pass that in the specific index of this array. Let's suppose now the field is changed to title and the value is Google. For that element in that array, the field now will be title and the value will be Google. So the array will be storing this object. Now in the updated links at index, we will update this one, whatever we just created. We will just replace the old link with the updated link. And now after the operation is done, just set links to updated links. Now the links will be changed to the updated links. Now let's do it for title field too. On change, I will just copy this, paste, and let's change the field to title. And outside the links I will add two buttons. For that I will use a div, create a button. This button will be for adding more links, and create another button for submission. Name this save, and its type will be submit, and the add links type will be simple button, but it will execute a function. So on click, create a function with name handle add link. Now we have to implement this function. Here const handle add link, fat arrow function. I will create a new link object and add it to the end of the links array. For that I will do set links, spread operator, the previous links, then create a blank object with the fields URL and title blank. Now we also need some way to remove a link. For that, inside this div I will create a button, and its type will be again button, type button, and on click it will execute a function. Let's name it handle remove link. It will receive the index of which the link we want to remove. So name it remove link, and let's now implement this handle remove link function. Const handle remove link, and it is receiving the index parameter. Now create a copy of the links array. Const updated links, just like we did previously with spread operator. Now remove the link of the specified index from the copy of the array. Updated links dot splice, we will use splice function. We will use index and single link to remove. And now update the state with a new array of links. Updated links. If you have understood the first function, and then it will be piece of cake. Let's now try it. Let's open up the terminal and let's see how it is. Refresh. This is working, but the styling is needed. Let's add some styling. First start with this buttons div. So they need class name. First collapse this one. Let's name it buttons or buttons. Give display flex. Flex will be row, and in between two buttons let's give a gap of 5 and margin y 1. And in both the buttons, let's add class together. Background indigo 500, text white, px4, padding y2, add some border radius medium. Let's add a little shadow and width will be full. Let's see the change. Let's change the color for save. Let's give it green. Okay, great. Now style the remove link button. Class name. Let's copy this same thing. Try it out with the remove link. But we don't need the width full. So I will remove the width full. And let's check. Yes, it is now in line. And now let's style this. And now I have accidentally removed that. Now let's add a new link. IndGeek.com. Title will be IndGeek. Add link. When we save this, it is saved. I believe it is saved. No, it is not saved because we have not implemented the backend for saving. So first, just style them. Let's style the input fields. Let's select both of the input fields together and start adding class name for them. Outline will be none and give a border of 2. Border gray 200. Bit of shadow medium and then rounded medium. Let's see how it is. We have to add padding as well. Padding x2 and padding normally 1. Split the screen again so it is better visible. Where is the other one? Input field. I missed this one. Let me add some margin left of 2. And for this button, let me add margin left of 3. Or I can do one thing. This is the form and this is inside this div. So I will add class name flex row justify evenly. Let's try this. Yeah, this is working fine. Now we just need a bit of spacing from this title. So I need margin left 2. We just need a bit of margin on y-axis. So on the main div, I will do margin y2. Let's see. Okay, great. Now we have to just implement the backend functionality for saving. So for that, I will full screen this. Create our function. Name const save links. It will have access to the event. Let's do event.prevent default. Let's create a new array that contains the values of the links object. Name it links array object dot values from the links. This links. And same will be done for titles. Titles array from object values from titles. Actually we have title only, not titles. And now in the links data, we will map over this links array, and with each individual link we will also pass its index, and the link is link. And from titles array, with this index we are passing this and we are saving this as title. And now let's wrap this whole thing inside a parenthesis. Now we will have to just send this links data to our backend. For that, I will do fetch at http localhost 8080/save/links. Now we have to create this path in the backend. Let's go to backend. Load previous, no, save items. Here we can create this const save links. This will be async function, request and response. We will receive Let's see what we are gonna pass. Let's just copy the methods and others from this. We will just copy this so that we don't have to type it again and again. And we will be passing the token mail for sure for authentication, and then pass the links data as links. So we will receive it in the backend, token mail, comma, links from request.body. Now let's do the similar thing. We will just grab a user. We won't be saving the name, bio and avatar, so we have removed it. We will create a variable named new links and then do links.map. That one we are receiving. We will be iterating through it, and then for each link we will extract the links, link URL, the URL field, the title field, and the icon field, which is actually empty. We will again wrap this thing inside a parenthesis for your ease of understanding, as we are using link.link twice, so you can just change this to L and make them L.link, L.link, so it will be better to understand, but we will keep it link. And when the new links is created, we will save it in user.links field, the new links. So we will do await user.save because this function might take a bit of time. So now we will export this function and come to where it is, and come to index.js, import this function and create a post. And let me open the path. What was it? Save/links. I will do save/links, and the function name was savelinks. Rename it, and let's see what error we are getting here. Where is the error? Okay, we have probably mistyped this. Now I have to put a comma. Now let me see if this works or not. When I add a new link and test IndGeek.com, add IndGeek as title, click on save. I'm not sure if this works or not. And we have just made the fetch call, but we have not added any later functionality. When the fetch is successful, then pass the response, rest.json, take the data. If data.status is error, let me check again that if we have error, yes, there is error field. If that is error, then we will return immediately with toast error notification, and the error notification data will be having data.error. And if that's not the case, then we will do toast.success, links saved successfully. And in case any error occurs, we will do catch error, and we will toast.error.message. Let's see. Let's add a link. Let's add this same link. Let's open up the network terminal and see. Add a link. Probably it reloads. Let me check if we have implemented the event.prevent default properly. Event prevent default. We haven't used the save links function. So on the form submission, I will have to do this. On form submit, I will have to use this save links. Let's come here and just add this same link here, same title, do save. Toast is not defined. Just as always, we forgot to import the toast again. Import toast from React Toastify. Let's try again and click on save. Links saved successfully. Refresh. Those two load up. Create on add link. Now let's add a new link, indgeek.com, give title IndGeek, click on save, link saved successfully. Let's reload. Let's click on our user handle and you can see our link tree is just working like butter. Let me open dashboard, edit links. Let's change this to turbohosty.com. Change this to turbohosty. Save this, go to link tree. You can see it is changed, but when we click on this, it will actually redirect us to this. So we have to change the implementation of this Linktree card. So I will come to Linktree card. Where is the component? Linktree card, and where the link is implemented. So this is the URL. I will create a backtick and then HTTPS, then the URL using template literal URL. Let's try this. When we now click, it will take us to the target website. Now we want the Linktree to open in another tab. So we will do target _ blank. So now when we click on TurboHosty, it will take us to the website. Now let me click on my Twitter. Let's see if social media is working. It is taking me to my Twitter. Let's click on share button. Let's paste it here and press enter. It is opening my Linktree. Let's go to dashboard, edit profile. Let's change the name. I am a software developer. Let's change the bio as well. Click on save and you can see the name and the bio is updated. Alright, we have completed this series on full stack Linktree web app development. I hope you had fun and you learned something new. If you liked this series, make sure to subscribe, and if you want to share your feedback, don't forget to comment. Have a good day.